Good morning. It is Wednesday, so we're going to have a bit of a play today with our monthly make and our stamps that we launched at the weekend. So I'm going to be using those lovely circles, our birthday banner, and the lovely Dora from the collection that we launched over the Easter weekend. So that's my plan. I've got some card cut out. I've got a bit of an idea. I haven't got my inks ready. I've got to do that bit. That's my idea. We will see where we go with this, shall we? So let's get crafting. Let me find the right button. I know I am getting worse at this. There we go. What I should do is move them all around so it's easier to click and I know which ones I need. So what I've got is basically a 5x7, because you know I love working on 5x7s. All matted down. So this is going to be my base, so the other bits can go to one side, and I've also got lots and lots of scraps with me. So I want one that's at least the same size as the card I'm working on, the base card I'm working on, and then I need a couple for my flower heads. So I'm going to start with my background first, which I do need some colours for. So I'm just going to grab some colours. I know, it's one of them mornings, I think. I was trying to be super organised, so I've been doing jobs and then I lost track of the time. And yeah, the day has just run away with me already, and it's only 10:30. Well, it's not, it's 20 to 11. That's really naughty, isn't it? So I'm going to go a bit of yellow. I want bright and vibrant. I love Dora in blue. I know I keep doing the same colours over and over again, but I do think she looks pretty amazing in blue. I think I'm going to do those two. Only because... Oh, you know what? We might change it up completely. It's a bit rainy and a bit meh outside today. So I think we might change it up and do Twisted Citrus orange, and then where's my peacock feathers, because that will look pretty awesome as a colour combo. Look at that. How's that for bright? Well, you can't see. There we go. How's that for bright and sunny this rather rainy Wednesday? Morning, Mum. So I'm going to start off with my Twisted Citrus, and I wasn't going to, but I am going to do a bit of splodging down the side. I've got everything attaching, so I'm just going to take a little piece of acetate. The reason I use acetate is I get more control over where I want to pop my ink. If I do it on my desk, I've got no chance. It's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? Whereas if I do it this way, I do get a bit more of a control. Not a lot, just a little bit more. So I want to go down this side. And I know it's Twisted Citrus, so you're not really going to see much of that on screen. Oh, you can see a bit of it. Makes a change. I'm just going to tidy this up. And what I should really do is just grab my happy birthday banner. It's got all bits all over it. Got all other bits of stamps on it. And what I need to do is just make sure I've come enough. I have. Look at that. That should be more than enough. So I'm going to get that dry. I'm going to whiz that with my heat gun. Because we are going to be stamping over the top of it, we need to make sure it is lovely and dry. I go nearly. Get a good blast with the heat gun. There we go. Right. So now I want our lovely sticky sticking to me paint and all sorts. Our lovely circles. Now remember, there is a direction on these circles, but you have to look really, really closely to find it. You've got a little alphabet in that circle, and you've also got a bit of handwriting in this circle, and music. Yeah, so you've got 3 that, if you were looking really, really closely, could ideally do with being the right way up. However, not many people are going to be looking that closely, are they? So I'm just going to take, morning Linda. We've literally only just got started. So I've literally done a splodgy background and I'm just about to start. So you haven't missed much at all, Linda. I'm just going to ink this one up. Now I'm using oxide, so I'm not going to get a really crisp image, but I'm going to get enough of one for the look I'm going for. Because it's a background, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I've got my carved pumpkin there, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on. I'm just going to do a bit of a jiggledy angle, I think. There we go, and I'm just going to do that all over again. I'm just going to link them in so that you can't really tell. I've used 2 stamps to do it. Just give it a bit of a press, and then I think, well, you know what I'm like, I was going to say I think that's all I'm going to do, but it's not. We're going to do a little bit more, I think, on the background. You could leave it like that and it'd look perfectly fine, but I do just want to soften that orange a little bit, not too much, just a little. There we go. I'm going to pop it over there. Do that, and then let's take my brush and a little bit of water. I'm going to need a bit of tissue as well, and I'm just going to drag some of the colour from the edges. So remember, it's oxide. I've put oxide behind as well, so the chances are we're going to redisturb that twisted citron we put down as well. And I'm just going to drag a bit of these colours, because that's the beauty of your oxides and your inks, they're not permanent, and you can just move them a little. Or a lot if you wanted to. And I'm doing it all, but I know I'm not going to see a lot of this. Yep, and if it's not moving enough, you can always go and grab some of your water puddle. I do that all the time. I should really know by now. Let's be a bit more careful when I'm popping stuff on my desk. I did say the other day, didn't I, that I should put a big X on my desk where I'm going to add my water and only spritz on that bit, which would hopefully stop some of the whoopsies I have by popping my paper in the puddle. There we go. So can you see it's just softened it a little bit? So it's not orange on green, it's now a bit more soft and a bit more blended, I think is the word I'm looking for, isn't it? There we go. See? I'm happier with that now. Let's just clean out that paintbrush. I'll be using that again in a minute. I'm going to dry this off because I think I'm quite happy now. So I do want to make sure this is lovely and dry, otherwise inky pinkies are going to come into it. Okay. Need to get rid of that puddle off the back. where I decided to put my card into. Nice big puddle. And now it's decision time. So I could, if I wanted to, stamp this directly onto here, which would look pretty cool. But I can also stamp it onto here. Yeah, and then we can start layering up. Morning, Rachel. So I'm going to actually stamp it on here first, and then if I don't like it, I might stamp it onto my card. What I want is the layers building up. So I'm going to start off popping it onto here. What I also need to do is think about which sentiment I want to pull off. So I'm gonna rip this as well. I don't want nice crisp edges. I want really jaggedy edges. Just gonna give this a nice little press. Don't know if you heard my thumb crack then. That wasn't a nice one. It's got happy birthdays. I'm trying to remember which is my juicy ink and which isn't. No, I don't think it's that one. It's a problem, isn't it, when you start tidying up your desks and things. You start finding all these ink pads, so you put them in a pile, then you don't know which is the juicy one and which is the, you know, not so juicy one. Pop that there. I think I might have over inked that. Didn't need quite so much, did I? I'm going to turn this one round. Then I'm just going to ink up its bottom. Again, I probably don't need as much as I've inked, but it's better to ink more than get there, than, you know, stamp it and go, oh, I wish I'd have done more on that one. And then there we go. It's got a lovely strip there and a lovely decorated desk. And then whilst I've got this one in my hand, I'm just going to grab a scrap of card. Let me just stretch. And grab, I just need a little piece. That'll do. Oops. That's not the same card, is it? There we go, that piece will do. I'm going to put that back in my basket. Oh. And then I'm just going to decide which bit of this I want to use. I think I'm going to stamp two because I either want Make a Wish I might stamp three actually. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to stamp sections of it and then I can decide which one I want. So, oh, actually, I get them all on there. Couldn't decide between Celebrate, Have a Wonderful Day and Make a Wish, but if I stamp it there, I get them all, don't I? Because I know I always use that Enjoy Your Day. It's going to depend which one I use. It's going to depend on how much room I've got left when finished. So I'm going to move that over there, I think. I'm not being very tidy today, am I? I think I'm decorating my desk more than I'm doing the card. Excuse me. There we go. I'm going to leave that to one side because I haven't got a clue which one I want, so I'm not going to start on that one just yet. Oh, I didn't ink that up very well the first time, did I? Right, there we go. And now we'll see whether I want to use this strip or we're going to stamp directly onto there. So I want to rip it. Now I want the exposed core bit to be with my words, so I need to rip towards me. So image on your left and down. So if you've got coloured paper and it's got a nice exposed core, and I am ripping really close. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same again. So my image is on my left. And then you've got a bit more control. If you notice, my thumb's kind of telling it where it's allowed to rip and where it's not allowed to rip. There we go. I'm going to pop them back in there. And now moment of truth. Oh, actually, I quite like that. Ooh. It's going to be decision time, isn't it? I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to do my flower and have a bit of a faff, and then we'll come back to that bit. So another scrap of paper. It's quite a good scrap buster, this one, isn't it? And I'm going to take our Darling Dora from Weekend. Before I make any more choices, I think I'm going to go big on our Darling Dora. Little one would look quite nice too, but I'm going big on this one. Yep. So we're going to get our Darling Dora, and I want that leaf as well. There we go. Move them back over there. Grab one of my stamp blocks. Oh, I threw that on the floor. Playing catch with a stamp block, not a good idea, is it? So I'm going to stamp one big Darling Dora. I was just wondering whether I wanted to do it in blue. No, I'm going to stamp it and then we can paint it, can't we? Just make sure I ink her up. And again, I'm making it look really, really difficult stamping, but it's not. It's just my hands are playing up again. I've not got much strength in them. There we go. Right, I've got a bit of a... Oh no, I thought I had an inky pinky on that already. And then I'm going to do one set of leaves. Might not use them both, but I'm going to do two sets. You can see where I'm going with this one, can't you? I'm leaving lots and lots of space around because I do like to leave that little white border when I'm cutting out. There we go. Should see the stamp, the pile of stamps I've got over there. I did so well at weekend keeping track of and keeping them all in line, and the desk actually looked quite tidy. Not so much today. So I'm just making sure this is nice and dry because we are going to add our distress oxides to it, so we're going to paint them on. There we go. And I'm going to cheat. So I'm going to use my peacock feathers, and then I'm going to go back to my twisted citron. Is it a yellow? Is it a green? In this case, I'm using it as a green. If it turns out too yellow when we paint it, I can always go in and add a little bit of like peel paint or even a bit of marker pen just to turn it green. Yeah, because I do love twisted citron. It is one of the lovely brights. I think sometimes it's what you team it up with. Is it green or is it yellow? Because we're teaming it up with peacock feathers, it might just green up a bit. So I'm just whacking this on, not being too fussy. I'm going to start taking some of this darker stuff, which is where it's either going to go green or we just need to add a little bit of another colour in. Can't decide. I think we might need to just add a little bit more of like a peacocky feather, not peacock feather, peel paint. I think so. So I'm going to do this one. Oh, squeaky chair time. I'm going to put my base colour down. And again, I don't know if I'm going to be using all of this, a little bit of it, not sure at all. That one in. So again, I'm just going to pick it up. See, there we go, we're turning it green now. Don't need much. And yes, I've gone over my black lines on the inside of my leaves, but that's okay. There we go, just add a few more in here, just a few little flicks of the green. Add into that stalk as well. There we go. So I'm happy with that now. It just needed a little bit of extra green, but it's still going to tie in nicely to our base because it's got that twisted citron to it as well. Then peacock feathers for our flower. And like I said all weekend, these images are just so easy to colour because you don't actually have to be neat because it's got that doodled edge. Just add in a little bit to begin with. Ooh, ooh, too dark, too dark. We're meant to be building up our colour, not just slopping it on there. Definitely. Oh, I've done it again because I dried my brush off. There we go. Cannot recover. I'm trying not to add too much water as what I was trying to do so it'll dry quicker. Because I want it to be nice and dry when we come to cut it out, because well otherwise you end up with inky pinkies, don't you? There we go. Right, now I can dry my brush out and then pick up some of this lovely drier stuff. I'm literally just flicking. I'm not doing anything special because I don't think you need to. But again, if you wanted to, take your time colouring in. There's nothing wrong with that either. There we go. I think I'm quite happy with that. But you know what I'm like, I'm missing patient pants, so I like to get it done. Just, ooh. Before I do that, I've got quite a lot left on my desk, so you know what, let's plaster it out. My top and my bottom really do mix and match together, don't they? And I know you're not seeing much of this background, but we know it's there, we know we've spent time on it. There we go, perfect. There we go, right, let's get these dry and then we can start. And it's a good job I didn't stamp directly onto the card, I was going to splatter as well, wasn't it? For once, my indecision helped me out a little bit. There we go. Need some like heat drying music, don't we? And yes, I've still got my little stamens to do in the centre of our Dora. However, I'll do them when she's on the card because I think I'm gonna use my gel pen for it. Right, and then it's choppy chop time. And you'll see, pop it like this. We're gonna have that down like that, that like that. I know it's a bit rough and ready, but if we kind of layer it up as we start to cut things out, you get the idea, don't you, then, of what it's going to look like and what you actually need and which sentiment we're going to choose. So I am just whipping around these again. That doodly edge does let you get away with really bad cutting out. And actually it fits in well with my torn edge on my sayings, doesn't it, as well? Oops, I just nearly cut the top leaf off then. Good job you weren't watching. My own fault. Nearly did it again then. Might need to slow down a bit. There we go. So we're going to have a bit of a leaf. I'm going to go for this one as well. Oops. There we go. And of course I am combining today our lovely new release and last month's monthly make. This month's monthly make went out in the post yesterday. So it should be making its way to you if you've ordered it. And we will, we're on our Jolly Bobs next week, but we will still be launching April's monthly make. So there'll be a video up on Monday at 7 o'clock launching this month, April's this month's monthly make. I always get confused. It doesn't take much, does it, for me to be confused? But I always get confused around this time of the month where I'm working on the old monthly make, but the new one's gone out and we've moved over to the new month. There we go. I'm not really fussy cutting into this one at all. There we go, and that's going to sit there like so. Right, I'm going with Celebrate. I think Celebrate's the one that's going to work the best. There we go. She says, there we go, I'm going to create a landslide, so excuse one moment. Oh, it didn't topple off as much as I thought it was going to. And I'm just going to go with that lovely little Celebrate. Because I don't think it needs a big all singing, all dancing bit, does it? And I should have some of our lovely silver that's going to go in background. Oops. So I'd lost it then. Nope, I've just stuck it to the wrong bit. Like that. Pop it down on there. I'm just going to trim. Don't want much of a border. Ooh, scissors. You should never leave your scissors hanging over the edge of your desk like that. Oof. You needed our health and safety bear to remind me not to do that. He was going to come out this morning, but then he realised that would involve actually getting up and out of his pyjamas. Because we have a rule, if he comes on Facebook with me, he has to at least have underpants on. Yep. So that was a bit too far today. Right. And we're done. Let's get this all together, shall we? I'm going to start off, I'm going to start off with that onto my silver. And we can always trim down if we need to, can't we? Just like that. Onto there. Just going to whip it over and give it a good rub from the back so we get it lovely and stuck. I can have this one. I could layer this up if I wanted to. I'm going to let my flower do my... there, I think. Nope, didn't need to trim it down at all. Well, maybe a bit, but no one's going to notice, are they? Just like that. Then all of the flowers. So I'm going to do it about here, I think. Kind of middle of my card it's turned out, hasn't it? And then on this one, I'm just going to cheat a little. I am going to chop it down. Like that. I think like so, and then I'm just going to give this a bit of a what did I do? There they are, my super-sized foam pads from the other day. These are like, well, they're huge to begin with, but they're also really, really thick. I've never quite met a foam pad quite as thick as these ones. Right, so I'm going to put them around the edges and then a corn Mr. Glue. I'm hoping when we go back to Birmingham in a few weeks, Gav's got some more of these lovely foam pads because they are huge. And then I'm going to do it that way. There we go. And then I'm just going to grab my little Celebrate. Oh, my foam pad's in the way. Rude. There we go. I'm going to have to... There we go. I think I'm going to pop it down. I was just singing the praises of these really thick foam pads and then it was in the way. I'm just going to sneak it underneath there like so. Make sure I put my pin back in my glue. Oops. And then final touches, I'm just going to pop a little bit of, if I could find my gems, I'd use my gems, I think. On here. So we've used our monthly make and our Darling Dora. There we go. And ever since I did the birthday one, I've wanted to put Dora on there because I think she will look amazing, and she does. So we've got our monthly make, so we've got our circles, circles, texture circles, I can't remember, textures in circles I think we called it, and then we have our birthday greetings panel. And then just to top it off, I've taken the Celebrate out that you can't really see because it's behind there. And then I've used our Darling Dora stamps from the weekend as well. But how lovely do they work together? Like I say, as soon, I've been wanting to put these two sets together because I thought they would look cool. And I think they do. So there you go. How cool is that? Anyway, so let me see if I can move this, if I can't. Come on, Mr. Mouse. There we go. Mr. Mouse is back. There you go. So thank you for joining me this morning. I've had loads of fun making that, and it's been that that has been stuck in my head for probably about, well, yeah, nearly a month. That's all I've wanted to do with those 2 stamp sets, merge them all together. So thank you for joining me this morning. We are back, well, we're kind of back on Monday. There will be a live on Monday launching, not a live, a video launching April's monthly make. So that'll be going on Facebook and YouTube about 7 o'clock to launch April's monthly make, and then the following week we'll be back live doing our monthly make. So Monday 7 o'clock there will be a video for monthly make. Just as a reminder as well, we are off on our Jolly Bobs from Friday, so we're heading off to the Welsh coast that doesn't seem to have much signal where we go. So things like emails and, well, of course, orders won't be processed until we get back on the 15th. So have a lovely rest of your week. Thank you for joining me this morning. As always, I've had loads of fun crafting, and thank you for all your lovely orders over the weekend. I've got the last pile to go out this morning, which I'll be doing after this. So thank you again. Do take care, stay safe, and I will see you when we're back on the 15th, but there will be a video on Monday. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.